Hey guys, running reviews. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to be reviewing Daredevil episode 8. What an episode. I really, truly enjoyed this episode. So let's get right into this. We start off with Poindexter, Bullseye, in his cell. We see a view of him looking out, like we see a flower, and we cut to him in the cell. They put handcuffs on him, chain him up, take him somewhere. He's asking where they're taking him because he doesn't know. Because I think he was sentenced to life. I think he was, or death. I'm not sure which one. Y'all can let me know. But they're moving him. They take him there. He's obviously nervous. He doesn't know what's gonna happen. They put him in general population. We see a bunch of inmates, like 300, 400 inmates. So you think he's done for? At least I thought so. And then we cut to, I believe we cut to Matt and Heather in the apartment. He's getting ready to go to work. They talk about, Daredevil saving them, and she says, I saved myself, Daredevil, and we were fighting, which they were. She saved herself, and she gives those rhetorics about a vigilante, similar to Fist. What vigilantes? They're no good. Who are they? They're just hiding behind a mask, that type of thing. And he's trying to subtle way of defending himself without saying he's Daredevil. But yeah, she gets invited to some ball. I forgot one of Fisk's people gives one of Fisk's people shows up and gives Matt the invitation for Heather for the mayor's ball, I believe it is. Matt's saying every reason not to go. He can't trust him. It's your client. He says, I can't reveal that because he's a therapist, rightfully so. And they have this kind of back and forth with each other. He's about to leave. She says, you should go, which I don't agree, client, yeah. I don't agree that she should take him, but it says +1 with a guest. So he goes to the law firm. Everything's getting him the stress, stuff with Heather, Kingpin, so everything's getting to him. He insults a client. He leaves. I believe we cut up with Fisk and Vanessa. Fisk takes Vanessa to his hideout where he has Adam, and he gives him an ultimatum to, kill him or let him go, very emotional scene from Fisk, at least for me it was, but we don't see the gun. We see her look at the key, but she eventually grabs the gun and shoots Adam. That's the end of Adam. So so and then we cut up with I'm trying to remember what we do next. So eventually catch up with Matt at a bar, at Josie's, the bar. He's there, he's drinking. Sherry pops in, says that, I forgot what her name is, at the law firm, asked to check on him, make sure he's okay. He's, Sherry's saying that Matt, they looked through all Fisk's financial records, he's clean, but, of course, Matt doesn't believe that. And Josie comes out with a bottle for I think it was the last drink that Foggy ordered or didn't drink or something. Like, I really can't remember now thinking back on it. But and Matt's putting the pieces together, saying he was drinking, he was celebrating because he won that case, and then come to find out that later on that it was Vanessa that told Bullseye to kill, or ordered Bullseye to kill Foggy, not Kingpin. So Kingpin was telling the truth when he met him, I think in episode 1 or 2 in the restaurant, saying that he had nothing to do with it. He actually had nothing to do with it. Matt, I think later on gets to, I don't know, I'm all over the place. I can't really remember now. I've just seen it last night. I really can't remember what sequence, but Matt gets alerted that he gets Bullseye gets put in protected custody by Fisk, and saying that he wants to meet with him, and eventually Matt goes to the prison, Blackgate, is it? I think it is. No, that's the penguin. And he goes to the prison. Um, Goes to the prison. Talks to him. Tell him that the kingpin hired him, and Bullseye not saying really much. Uh, you know, um, Matt slammed his head onto a few times. He gets taken away. We hear an F bomb by Matt. I think that's the first time we hear it from him in this series. I'm not sure of the Netflix series. Let me know. But that goes on. Um, Eventually, Bullseye escapes the prison. Kills some guards. Gets on the bus where they have other guards, and I guess I don't know where that bus takes them to the parking lot. I don't know how the prison system works. Let me know if y'all know. Where that bus would take those guards after the day shift. I guess. Bullseye escapes somehow. Knows about the ball. That's the only really inconsistency. I'm like, how does he know about the ball? He escapes the prison, which I don't know how far the prison is from Hell's Kitchen, but he escapes. We cut to the ball. Everyone's there. Everyone, even the people that we saw intimidate Fisk a few episodes earlier. So everyone's there. The swordsman's there. Everyone's there. Heather's there by herself, calling Matt. Why isn't he picking up? He hasn't talked to her all day. And Matt eventually shows up. We see Fisk talk to the swordsman and pretty much tell him, I know you're a vigilante. What my task force does. And he says, you're threatening me. And then the Fisk tells him, no, I'm warning you. Just like kind of the exchange they had in that episode. I think it was episode 3 or 4, where he pretty much tells him, like I just said about the political people were threatening Fisk, that they don't like him, But yeah, so that happens. He talks to him, you know, uh, lets him go. We cut to the task force taking a guy. I guess he had a phone, taking him to the back. The commissioner goes back there and says, "Have you arrested for assault?" And the guy that's holding him, that we seen that got beat up by Daredevil in the apartment. He puts his hand in the air fryer, and telling him that we don't work for you anymore. That thing. Cut to BB. Oh, that's one thing I forgot. During this, BB's there, Blake's there, of course, and then they kind of rekindle their friendship. Blake gets promoted. That's one thing I forgot. Blake gets promoted because Fisk was happy with how he threatened BB to take that. I think she reverted the report that it was the task force and not Daredevil that took out Muse. So they kind of rekindle their thing. BBC's the commissioner. I forgot his name. The commissioner and asking him, "You working tonight?" She goes, "Are you?" And they're kind of doing this exchange, And she's telling him, "Did you know Fisk had a hand in your uncle's murder?" And she says, "He does. He did." So pretty much like, you scratch my back, I scratch your back scenario. So yeah, so that happens. Bullseye shows up to the event. During all this, Matt's angered by Fisk because he thinks Fisk did it. He knows Vanessa did it. That's the thing. So he's mad at Fisk. Gonna go confront him, and then they have their dance, Vanessa and Fisk, and Matt on purpose intervenes, pretends to dance with Vanessa, but tell her, does Fisk know that you had Foggy killed? And she goes, does Heather know you're Daredevil? And they have this exchange, and Vanessa and Fisk are off to the side, kind of talking, not dancing, but kind of side by side. And he's mentioning, I think he says, who Daredevil is, or not who Daredevil is, but I forgot. He says something like that. Who Daredevil is, or what, or something to that effect. Let me know in the comments what he says, but we don't hear him say that. You won't hear him tell Heather that it's Matt, but I wouldn't be surprised if in 2 or next episode we get that he did tell her that. But yeah. So Bullseye shows up, is about to kill Kingpin. Matt senses it, gets in the way and gets shot. And the people scatter, and that's how pretty much we end it. Kind of, the way Foggy got shot in the first episode, kind of. So we know Matt doesn't die. We know he's gonna be wounded. I wouldn't be surprised if next episode he's just walking around. That's one criticism people had about the fight he had in the apartment with the 2 cops. And they should have been dead or in a wheelchair, and they're just walking around with a bruised black eye. But yeah, so I know that was kind of long, but yeah, I really like the performances. I love the pace of this episode. The directors, I can't really remember. I know one of the directors, Aaron, and I forgot the other one, but they directed. I think they believe was it Echo? I know it was Loki, but it was something like that. Or Miss Marvel. Was it Miss Marvel and Loki? I think. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, guys, I know I've gone long enough, but I really enjoyed the pace. I really enjoyed the episode. I wish the whole season was like this, but it wasn't. But yeah, it's probably my favorite episode so far. We got one episode. Let's see how it lands. People are saying the Punisher has to come out. Episode 9 has to get wind of whatever all this is going on. I'm gonna go, assume deal with this Punisher task force. Love to see that. Hopefully he comes out. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. So just let me know in the comments what you thought about this episode. Did I hit all the notes right? All the beats right? Is there something that you wished I talked about? Was there something that you wished I talked about more? Just let me know your thoughts below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.